Hey guys, to start this look, I'm using Becca's mattifying primer all over her face, including on her eyelids as well. I used a little bit of Strobe Cream on her cheeks and the outermost areas of her forehead just to add a little bit of a glow. So I'm priming her eyelids with the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. And this is definitely part of my routine. No matter whose makeup I'm doing, I always use a primer or a base. In this case, I could have used a black primer on her eyelids as well, just to kind of intensify the black color. I'm filling in her brows with Dip Brow by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Chocolate. Her brows are going to appear to be really dark. It's just because she doesn't have the rest of her face completed yet, so that's why her brows are standing out so much. I'm using concealer under her eyebrows just to highlight that area and make it look a little bit cleaner. This is definitely a really good trick. It definitely makes your eyebrows look so much cleaner and so much sharper. I love using concealer underneath my eyebrows. I try to use a color that's as close to my skin color as possible, with probably about one shade down, just to add a little bit of highlight. I'm putting the leftovers kind of in the middle of her eyebrows because that's the area that's going to be highlighted anyway, so it kind of just gets me there a little bit faster and makes everything one color. Now, using the Urban Decay Vise Palette that just came out, I'm using the shade Bitter, and I'm using a big fluffy brush and just going back and forth in her crease with that color. Now, using a more dense brush, I'm packing that crease with another earthy tone color. I think this is Saddle by MAC. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be a perfect line. I'm kind of just packing it in there, and then I start blending it out. Just make sure you keep blending until it's completely blended out. You don't want to have that harsh line like that stuck in there. And I just go back and forth doing this until the color is as intense as I'd like it to be. I just applied the color Underhand from that same Vice palette in her crease as well. It's kind of like a wine burgundy kind of color, and that's just going to intensify that area as well, but it's still in the warm family, so it'll keep the look that I'm going for. And as you can see, I'm using the same technique, just kind of drawing a line in there and blending it out completely. I'm using a Kiko Cosmetics eyeshadow in number 178, and it's a black eyeshadow with little silver sparkles in it. And I'm taking a flat synthetic brush and applying this color. And I keep going in with my fluffy brush and blending out the crease area so that it blends well into the warm shade that I have going on there. I apply the darkest color closest to her eyelash line, and whatever's left on the brush, I kind of bring it up towards the crease and then blend it out so that it fades away. I'm just going back in and filling in any areas that look a little bit lighter. The lashes that I'm using on her are from Cara. They're called Cara lashes in number 218, and these are $1. And the website that you can go on to get these are shopmissa.com. And all their lashes are $1. I'm just going back in and touching anything up again, any areas that look a little sparse in color. I'm using the NYX Dark Circle Corrector in the shade Medium under her eyes, and I kind of just pack that on. I had a little bit of glue there, so that's what I was doing there, don't mind me. I kind of just pack that on, and then I'll go in with a beauty blender and kind of just dab it right on top to make sure that it really gets in there. I'm using Natasha Denona's Face Glow Foundation. This foundation is definitely a glowy foundation. It's so amazing. I apply it under her eyes right on top of that dark circle corrector. And I like this because it gives it a little bit more coverage. I always use my foundation under my eyes as well to add more coverage to the whole look. I did dampen my beauty blender. And I'm doing dabbing motions. I'm not sweeping any makeup across her face. I'm just dabbing. This will keep the makeup full coverage. As you can see now, her brows don't look super dark like they did in the beginning. Now I'm going in with the new concealer by Laura Mercier, and this is in number 3, and this is their full coverage concealer, and it has a little bit of a salmon / orange undertone, so it's really good for under eyes that are a little bit darker. So this is going to help color correct as well. And I'm just taking that same beauty blender and blending it out. This concealer is really thick, so a little bit goes a long way, but it's very easily blended. And as you can see, it highlights her face as well, really well. And I'm just highlighting the rest of her face with the same concealer. So that's on her chin, down the bridge of her nose, and in the center of her forehead as well. These are the areas that we want to bring attention to, so that's why I'm highlighting. I'm using Makeup Forever's HD powder just to set that area. I kind of pack it on and then brush it away little by little, just to make sure it gets in all of the creases and lines and sets the area really well. This powder is really good, but you have to be very careful to make sure you brush all of it away, or else you'll have white residue left over. It gives a really, really nice velvety kind of finish to the under eyes and makes everything feel completely set. And as you can see, that's that residue that I was talking about, so you have to go in and really make sure you blend it away. Now I'm using MAC's Dark Deep bronzer, and I'm contouring her face with this. I like to contour with kind of bronzer shades just because I like a warmer face look. I don't really go towards the grayish kind of tone contour. I like it to look like summer all year round. This shade is awesome though. It's like one shade darker than Give Me Sun, and Give Me Sun kind of gives me a nice little bronzy glow, but it definitely isn't as strong as this one, so I definitely prefer this one a little bit more. It gives me more of an intense contour. And I believe I'm using a e.l.f. blush brush right here to do her contour. It's a really soft brush, so I like it for contouring. And I told you guys my camera would not cut off again, so I'm very proud to say that my camera did not cut off today for this video. So rounds of applause, please. And of course, I'm contouring her nose just to make it appear a little bit smaller, even though she already has a cute nose. But this is part of my process, so I do it no matter how cute your nose is. I'm applying a little bit under her bottom lip just to make it look a little more pouty, and a little bit in the center between her lips, between her cupid's bow, I'm sorry, just to make that area look a little more pouty as well. Now I'm using MAC's Gold Deposit. It's a gold tone highlighter, and it just kind of intensifies that area but also highlights as well because it has little gold flecks in it. I'm using a blush by Becca. Oh, I don't remember the name, but I will put it in the description bar. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't ready for that one. And I'm using Opal by Becca as her highlight. Completely love these highlighters. They're so awesome. I do a little bit above the brows. I kind of like that area to be highlighted a little bit. This is all preference, and a little bit on the nose and chin. Kind of just makes it appear a little bit smaller, and I did a little bit on the top lip, and you can see how nicely it highlights that area. Love it. Going back in with Saddle by MAC under her eyes. That's going to be basically my transition color for her under eye area. So I'm applying that first and kind of blending it out. It looks a little messy right now, but it'll come together, don't worry. Now I'm going back in with that Kiko eyeshadow and kind of lining her lower lash line with it. And now I'm going in with a black eyeliner, and I'm lining her waterline and kind of dragging it down a little bit to make the whole thing look a little bit neater. And I'm kind of just patting it onto her waterline. I'm not really smearing it across because her eyes are a little sensitive, and so are most people's. So I try to pat the eyeliner in and not really smear it across because that does irritate the eye a little bit. And I'm going right under her waterline and drawing a little bit of a straight line right there, just like I said, to make everything come together neater. I'm using a MAC eye mascara. I don't know the name of this one, but as you can see, it looks like they're lipstick bottles. I have to get the name of this one. Now, her lips were a little bit of a journey here. The end result of her lips was a glossy, nude brown kind of color, and that's what I was shooting for from the beginning, so I could have just used like one product, but of course I wanted to take a journey there. So I started with Melted Sugar by Too Faced, then applied Lorac Vintage Lip Gloss, and now I'm using Cocobean by Gerard Cosmetics. And all of this could have been avoided, I promise you, by using Mac Daddy's Artist Couture lip gloss. I believe it's in the shade Kissable, but I will look into that. But once you're done with this, just spray your face with some Fix Plus and you are ready to go out. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.